Welcome everyone to our Wednesday Health Flash for this week, and our topic today is food additives and how they're toxic to the brain. There's no doubt that the right nutrient in the right situation can make a profound difference, but sometimes we encounter what we call global factors which affect one's health so negatively that even the right nutrients can't have their maximum benefit if these global factors are in play. Mainly hydrogenated oils, NutraSweet, other artificial sweeteners, dehydration, lack of probiotics in the bowel, and consumption of gluten when food sensitivities are present. But perhaps most innocuous of the global factors is MSG and the hidden flavor enhancers present in one's diet. You can watch the lecture by Dr. Russell Blaylock. He's a noted neurosurgeon. It's about 45 minutes for the long version. It's very interesting. He goes into greater detail than I will here today, but you'll be absolutely stunned by what he has to say. Flavor enhancers are really excitotoxins added in large doses under misleading names that sound harmless. Excitotoxins are toxins or poisons that cause excitement in the brain. Certain brain cells get excited and they fire their cells rapidly. Cells become exhausted. In 1 hour, they suddenly die. Excitotoxins are free radical generators. Glutamate, aspartate, and L-cysteine can stimulate large amounts of free radicals within exposed neurons. In time, this results in the progressive death of these motor neurons, which can lead to neurodegenerative diseases. Excessive excitotoxic stimulation results in the buildup of free radicals, eventually overwhelming the cell's ability to neutralize them. Free radicals in the brain can also damage mitochondrial DNA and reduce the brain's ability to make energy. These excitotoxins are in almost all packaged foods and are disguised with names like vegetable protein, hydrolyzed vegetable protein, textured vegetable protein, sodium or calcium caseinate, enzymes even, spices, autolyzed yeast, yeast extract, natural flavor. There's nothing natural about it. Natural doesn't mean a thing, so be careful of that word on packaging. Carrageenan, that should say carrageenan, broth or stock. Let's go over this in a bit more detail. I've got some charts attached to the email that you can print out, but here they are. So these are other names for MSG. You can see those on the charts that you print out. So things like yeast extract, even gelatin, you've got to be careful. And then these are ingredients that frequently contain MSG. So look at that, cornstarch, powdered milk. And there you go again with the natural flavorings, and they're not natural. Stocks, watch out for that soy sauce. And you should watch out on these products. I mean, cigarettes aren't food, but they put MSG in for more addiction if they need more. And here, supplements, particularly minerals. Again, why we use biotics? We don't want to be using anything that would possibly have that in them. Why would you take supplements with MSG or other food additives? Seems to be contradictory. Embarrassingly enough, I had this can of mushroom soup in the cupboard. It is now gone, and it was not eaten. The red indicates what's in there that could be MSG. I mean, they're saying right here there's MSG in it, but all these other things, even spices, can have MSG added. So it's pretty horrific. On the can it also said allergens, milk, and I just couldn't help it, but are they worried about milk when there's all this other stuff in there? And infant formulas are loaded with flavor enhancers like MSG. Many baby foods, especially toddler foods, have large amounts of MSG added to them and are harmful for the developing brains of children. We have an epidemic of attention deficit disorder, autism, mood disorders, outbursts of anger, other mental illnesses that are diagnosed in children. And I was a teacher for a while, and I've seen it. We've seen cases with babies that develop seizures in their first year. Doctors prescribe dangerous drugs with side effects, and for these seizures, we've recommended mixed DFAs and organic or homemade baby food, and mysteriously the seizures have disappeared. We've treated many children whose mothers were desperate for answers when their children presented behavioral problems that are routinely treated with drugs like Ritalin, etc. In every case, we found low blood sugar to be a major factor. When their diets were changed, their behaviors were incredibly improved, and not one of them needed medications. And the elderly at risk too. Neurodegenerative diseases are at an all-time high and rising, and I have to think about what they're getting fed in homes and in the cafeterias and whatnot. I mean, people lose their taste as they get older, so they put enhancers in. Food industry lobbyists go to drastic means to prevent knowledge from being made public. Also, the food industry uses deceiving methods to keep the consumers from knowing what has been added to foods. We're told that only small amounts are being used and are not harmful based on animal research, but the truth is humans are more susceptible to MSG than any experimental animals. Our brains are 5 times more sensitive than mice and 20 times more sensitive than the rhesus monkeys. Another deception is the blood-brain barrier protects our brain from these additives, and that's not exactly true. The brain receives the same blood that flows through the body, therefore it's exposed to high concentrations of chemicals in the blood from the metabolism and diet. And some of these chemicals are toxic to the brain. Without the blood-brain barrier, these chemicals would do serious damage to the brain and spinal cord. This barrier excludes some substances, while others allow free passage. Some parts of the brain, however, never develop a brain barrier system at all. The hypothalamus, pineal, and pituitary are without protection. The pituitary, which is called the master gland, is controlled by the hypothalamus. This gland controls all the endocrine functions of our body. As a result, the chemicals in our blood also affect these vital glands. The blood-brain barrier that does protect the brain can also be disrupted with the use of the sweetener NutraSweet, which is basically aspartame. NutraSweet opens the blood-brain barrier, and glutamate that is in your blood seeps into the brain. In fact, a person with multiple sclerosis or any other diseases like that can get significantly worse for days or weeks after eating just one serving of a food containing flavor enhancers. This important brain barrier can be stabilized in 2 major ways. First, avoid any additives in our diet, and that can cause excessive neuron damage. Secondly, use supplements to assist the cell's ability to combat the accumulation of free radicals by supplying antioxidants. So supplements like N-acetyl-L-cysteine, which is commonly known as NAC, enters the cell and is converted to glutathione. Glutathione can also regenerate vitamin C and E, which can become effective free radical scavengers. And this is the NAC from biotics. And it's more stable and better absorbed than L-cysteine. And it's also a hepatoprotective, which is the liver protection. Also, coenzyme Q10 blocks lipid peroxidation, which is talked about down here, what that means. L-carnitine improves long-term memory and significantly improves cellular energy production, including the brain cells. Taurine is an amino acid found in high concentrations in the brain to protect it and stabilizes nervous system excitability. Acetyl L-carnitine is the natural biochemical component of all cells. It has neurotransmitter properties. It is an antioxidant, increases mitochondrial energy production. It stabilizes cell membranes, increases memory, and chelates iron. This important compound has been shown to defend brain cells against lipid peroxidation and increases cellular glutathione and concentrates of the reduced form of CoQ10. And here is biotics L-carnitine. Many vegetarians are low in that because it comes from meat sources. And here we have CoQ zyme and taurine from biotics. Another consideration is detoxification. TheroX bioapps are available for cleansing. Biotics also has a detoxification program. The TheroX Cleanse provides 14 essential biofrequencies to help in restoring optimal functions of the major detoxification organs. They are designed to help the body cleanse and detoxify systems and organs, including the liver, colon, kidneys, lungs, and the skin. And we just wear those on our left arm. Along with these supplements, let's get back to eating real food. It has properties we haven't even dreamed of. And oh yes, and we won't have to worry about the global factors or the destruction of our most valuable asset, our brains. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next Wednesday. There's our contact information, and if you'd like to see the Blaylock video in its entirety, there it is there too. This will be up on our website, and you can view it in the next couple of days.